So it looked like Caitlin Clark is setting a new standard when it comes to Gatorade, guys, for this.
Exactly. And this is the part people really don't want to confront. Caitlin Clark didn't stumble into this moment. She created it. She dragged women's basketball into the mainstream by force of personality, range, and audacity. She turned random Tuesday night Iowa games into national events. Sports bars were flipping channels. TikTok was flooded. ESPN was rearranging programming. You don't do that by accident. Gatorade isn't guessing here. They're not being generous. They're not woke. They're doing what billion-dollar corporations do best, following the data, and the data screamed her name. This new deal isn't just endorsement money. This is infrastructure-level belief. Signature bottles. Branded language. Her logo. Her identity baked into the product. That's not how you treat a regular sponsor athlete. That's how you build a pillar. That's how you anoint the face at the Rainberry rollout.
And Caitlin Clark is breaking the internet for the second consecutive day. Yesterday, we was blessed with new Caitlin Clark workout footage. And I'm here to tell you, today, she is definitely getting in her bag because Gatorade has released a new flavor featuring Caitlin Clark on the cover.
Told the whole story. Limited edition. Her signature. Raining threes messaging. And it didn't just do well, it vanished. Gone. Shelves wiped clean. That's the kind of sell-through companies dream about and executives get promoted for. When a drink sells out because of one athlete, the conversation is over. This is why the backlash feels so desperate, because the usual excuses don't work anymore. You can't say, it's just hype. When the hype converts to revenue, you can't say, it won't last. When brands are locking in long-term, you can't say, she's overrated. When corporations with access to every metric on earth are betting tens of millions on her name. And notice who's loudest right now, people who aren't moving product. That's the quiet part. Endorsements aren't awarded by vibes or fairness committees. They're earned by attention, trust, and reach. Caitlin Clark checks every box brands care about. Cross-generational appeal, male and female audiences, suburban parents, young fans, casual viewers, diehards. She's safe, competitive, polarizing enough to drive conversation, and clean enough to sell everywhere. That combination is rare. In any sport. So when people ask, why her? The answer is simple. Because when Caitlin Clark's name is on something, people buy it. Period. This deal didn't make her the face of sports drinks, it just confirmed what already happened. The market crowned her first. The timing couldn't be more perfect. Caitlin Clark is gearing up for Team USA duties set for March 11th, and right on cue, new workout footage drops showing her leveling up yet again. She's pulling up off the dribble, moving smoother than ever, adding layers to an already unfair bag, and basically telling every doubter to keep that same energy. While all that's happening, Gatorade is sitting back watching its investment age like fine wine in real time. But here's why this deal has people so pressed. Every single time Caitlin Clark accomplishes something, the goalposts magically move. When she shattered scoring records, they said college stats don't count. When she went first overall, they said the WNBA would humble her. When she dominated as a rookie, they said she's just one player. Now she's securing generational wealth through endorsements, and suddenly the internet is flooded with armchair marketing experts explaining why she's overvalued. Same pattern. Same excuses. Different milestone. The funniest thing of all is that the same people who swear nobody watches women's basketball suddenly have endless energy to dissect every move Caitlin makes. Make that make sense? If no one supposedly cares about the women's game, why are these people living in comment sections, typing full essays about why her endorsement deal is too much? The logic completely falls apart. The truth is simple. Caitlin Clark shifts the market. She puts people in seats. She boosts viewership. She dominates the conversation. And in the world of sponsorships and branding, that is the only currency that actually matters.
A bunch of sponsors. Gatorade, Stanley, Nike, it don't matter. Whatever Caitlin Clark goes on, it's an instant hit, and it looked like this new Gatorade flavor rain is doing the same thing. Now, Caitlin Clark did react to this new flavor, but I just want to pull it up to you and show it to you guys here real quick. So, this is going around. This is Caitlin Clark dropping this. It stated Caitlin Clark favorite flavor.
Gatorade isn't a charity case, and they're not writing $50 million checks out of kindness. They're a global corporation that lives and dies by data, projections, and return on investment. If they're willing to bet this big on Caitlin Clark, it's because their analysts crunched the numbers and came to one conclusion: she's worth it. Probably more than that, honestly. Put it in perspective. LeBron has a lifetime Nike deal north of $1 billion. Steph Curry is Under Armour's entire brand. Patrick Mahomes locked down $500 million. Yes, those are larger sports with larger audiences, but within the ecosystem of women's basketball, Caitlin's Gatorade deal is seismic. It resets the market. It raises the ceiling. It sends a message to every young girl picking up a ball that generational wealth is now possible through this sport. And that's what really makes people uncomfortable. It's not the number, it's what the number represents. Proof that women's sports are growing. Proof that female athletes can command real money. Proof that the old narratives are dying. Every time a woman breaks through another barrier, a loud minority spirals because progress exposes how outdated their views really are. That line about limitless range was sweet and harmless, the kind of feel-good post fans enjoy, yet even that managed to spark strange reactions in the replies, like she isn't allowed to exist without every post becoming a public trial. Apparently, she can't share a simple holiday message without people turning it into a debate about whether she's earned her spotlight. And here's another detail that says a lot. When Team USA revealed their roster for the upcoming tournament, the official promo focused on Aya Wilson and other established names, which is understandable because they're elite players. But then FIBA Basketball released their own visuals and put Caitlin right at the center. That wasn't random. That was marketing intelligence. They know who pulls in casual viewers. They know whose face stops the scroll. They know Caitlin Clark brings eyeballs. Meanwhile, USA Basketball has consistently felt hesitant to fully lean into her visibility, despite the fact that she's clearly one of their biggest assets. It's the same awkward dynamic we saw during her WNBA rookie year. The league finally had a crossover star capable of growing the audience in real time, yet it often felt like they didn't know what to do with her. Fellow players took subtle jabs, media voices questioned whether the hype was earned, and all the while Fever games were smashing ratings, her jerseys were selling out, and young fans were packing arenas with handmade signs just to see her play. But somehow, the conversation still circles back to questioning whether she really matters.
Nike, it don't matter. Whatever Caitlin Clark goes on, it's an instant hit, and it looked like this new Gatorade flavor Rain is doing the same thing. Now, Caitlin Clark did react to this new flavor, but I just want to pull it up to you and show it to you guys here real quick. So, this is going around. This is Caitlin Clark dropping this. It stated Caitlin Clark favorite flavor, Rain Berry, bruh, the greatest flavor ever.
What makes the Gatorade deal especially compelling is what it reveals about crossover power. Gatorade doesn't limit itself to one lane. They back NFL superstars, NBA icons, Olympic gold medalists, global faces of sport. So when they commit $50 million to a WNBA player, they're not just buying basketball relevance, they're betting on cultural reach. They're saying Caitlin Clark can transcend the sport and connect with everyday consumers the way legends like Serena Williams or Michael Jordan once did. That's not optimism, that's confidence backed by data. And before anyone asks why people are applauding someone for getting wealthy, that misses the point entirely. This isn't about one athlete's bank account. It's about what this moment represents for women's sports overall. For decades, female athletes were told to settle for less, to be thankful for opportunity instead of compensation, to accept the idea that the audience wasn't there. Meanwhile, male athletes with far less impact were handed massive endorsement deals without scrutiny. This Gatorade move blows that argument apart. The audience exists. The demand exists. The money exists. All it needed was an athlete capable of commanding mainstream attention, and Caitlin Clark didn't wait for permission to prove she was that person. She never waited for approval to believe in herself. She simply performed at such a high level that companies were forced to acknowledge her worth. The Rainberry release is the clearest snapshot of her influence. One limited run bottle, her image, some smart design, and it vanished immediately. No massive rollout, no stacked celebrity campaign, just her presence driving demand on its own. That is the type of pull brands chase and almost never find. That's why Gatorade isn't treating her like a one-off endorsement but as the foundation of entire product extensions. What makes this even more revealing is watching critics try to deflect by name-checking other athletes. Those players are excellent, no argument there, but this conversation isn't about talent alone. It's about visibility, reach beyond the sport, and cultural gravity. Caitlin Clark brought in viewers who had never tuned into women's basketball and turned games into must-watch moments, and acknowledging that doesn't diminish anyone else, it just reflects reality. The timing only amplifies it all, as she transitions from a strong rookie WNBA campaign into Team USA duties while simultaneously becoming the public face of one of the biggest brands in sports. And if anyone thought she was coasting, the recent training clips tell a different story. She's still sharpening her skills, still evolving, still pushing forward. There was no huge rollout, no influencer blitz, no famous co-signers attached to make it work. Her identity alone pushed the product through the roof. That level of pull is what companies fantasize about, which is why this agreement goes far beyond a few ads on television. Gatorade is clearly positioning her as a long-term pillar, creating lines and concepts centered around her presence. What makes it even more amusing is seeing critics scramble to dilute the moment by name-dropping other athletes. Yes, those competitors are skilled, and no one is disputing that, but this discussion isn't about pure on-court ability in isolation. It's about visibility, reach beyond the sport, and influence on mainstream culture. Caitlin Clark attracted audiences who had never paid attention to women's hoops and turned games into must-watch occasions. Acknowledging that doesn't diminish anyone else. It simply reflects the landscape as it exists. The timing only amplifies the moment, lining up with her preparation for global play. Coming off a strong first professional campaign, she's now suiting up for the national team while simultaneously fronting one of the largest beverage brands on the planet. And if anyone thought she was satisfied, the latest training clips say otherwise. She's still evolving, still refining, still leveling up. Exactly. This isn't luck or hype, it's a calculated business decision. Gatorade didn't hand $50 million to Caitlin Clark because they felt generous. They did it because every metric shows she moves the needle. Engagement rates, merchandise sales, social media reach, and even casual fan attention all point to her as a prime marketing engine. The haters can claim she's just lucky, or endorsements don't equal skill, but the data doesn't lie. When a company that's been backing elite athletes for decades chooses you as a cornerstone of a campaign, it's a clear signal. Caitlin Clark isn't just great on the court, she's a brand in herself. The Twitter takes don't change the numbers, and they definitely don't change the impact she's having on women's sports. Her trajectory is proof that elite talent plus charisma plus marketability equals undeniable influence, and the world is noticing. Caitlin Clark's off-the-dribble shooting looks cleaner than ever, and she's preparing to dominate on yet another stage. The haters might as well get comfortable because this is just the beginning. With deals from Nike, Stanley, State Farm, and Gatorade, she's building a portfolio that will set her up for life, and each new endorsement brings another wave of criticism from people questioning why she deserves it. Yet through it all, she keeps winning, cashing checks, and proving her worth. Watching the narrative shift in real time has been fascinating. Before she was drafted, skeptics said she wouldn't translate to the pro level. After a dominant rookie season, the goalposts moved again, and now, as she secures generational wealth, the excuse becomes, she's just lucky with endorsements. The reality is undeniable. Caitlin Clark is simply that good, that marketable, and her impact is backed by decades of data-driven marketing expertise. Gatorade, for example, wouldn't make her the centerpiece of major campaigns if she didn't resonate with fans and consumers. Focus groups and metrics confirm it, and no random Twitter take can override the multi-billion-dollar research supporting her value. The ripple effects of this Gatorade deal will be felt across all of women's sports. Other brands are watching, other athletes are taking notes, and the door is opening wider for female athletes to secure the kind of endorsements that were once almost exclusively reserved for men. This isn't just about one person getting paid, it's about changing the entire ecosystem. Caitlin Clark has already said she wants to grow the game, inspire the next generation, and show young girls what's possible. Well, seeing her face on a Gatorade bottle in a local grocery store teaches exactly that. Women athletes can be stars, they can be wealthy, and they can be celebrated. That's powerful. That's world-changing. That's worth far more than $50 million. Meanwhile, the haters keep fuming, typing angry comments, moving goalposts, inventing new reasons to be mad, but Caitlin Clark will keep thriving. She'll keep breaking barriers, cashing checks, making history, and proving why she's not just winning on the court, she's winning in boardrooms too. Everybody wins. Well, except the haters. But honestly, who cares about them? That's how you change the game and secure the bag while doing it.